Our team is in the nation's capital this week following Idaho's congressional delegation. Joe Parris caught up with Idaho Congressman Russ Fulcher today, who weighed in on a national headline: the release of the Epstein files.
Good evening from Washington, D.C. KTVB in D.C. this week following Idaho's congressional delegation. Today we spent our day with Idaho Congressman Russ Fulcher, who, by the way, represents the biggest constituency in the United States, more than 1 million people in his district. We can talk about the math on that another time. It is a big week in D.C. though, but it's pretty quiet right now. Most of the lawmakers have actually gone home from the United States House and the Senate. The Senate will be coming back as the House will be taking a little bit of a break. And you might have seen some headlines saying that the reason the House went home was because they wanted to avoid discussions or votes about releasing files related to Jeffrey Epstein. However, there's nuance to that, and Congressman Russ Fulcher explained that.
This whole scenario with Epstein, it really does need to get flushed out. There was a lot of young ladies that were abused in this, and there's a lot of things that we don't know. And so this has got to come to light, and I believe it's going to. And I certainly support that. There was a report that somehow the Republicans, and myself included, had voted to block the release of these files. Well, that's really not true. There was a procedural vote to end debate on cryptocurrency, which is a totally different topic, obviously. And I, for one, and most of my colleagues, didn't want to end that debate. That we had more details to flesh out on the crypto side. Well, by not stopping debate, then what that meant was the other side couldn't introduce what they wanted to introduce, which is a motion to release those files. And so somehow that got translated into we wanted to block the Epstein file release. Nothing of the sort. Those need to come out. They're going to come out. And I think that justice will be served over the course of time, but we owe that to the young ladies that were abused in this process.
So as you heard the congressman allude to, it's in real time. The members of the floor, with hundreds of them, may not know exactly what the other side of the aisle is doing. So the nuance there, we appreciate Congressman Fulcher chatting with us, and we'll have more from Idaho's entire congressional delegation wrapping up our trip, including our day in the life with Senator Jim Risch. Stay tuned to KTVB in the coming weeks as we show you all that content from D.C. But from just outside the United States Capitol, Joe Parris, Idaho's News Channel 7.